You have to be careful about making a weird show or watching a weird show.
Hello, this is Greg Smalley on Pod 366, a Weird Movies podcast. Joined today, as I often am, by the incisive Giles Edwards.
Yes.
Yes.
And the perverted Penguin Pete Turbovich.
Yes. I brought my penguin ball today, by the way.
Good.
Hey.
Well, new sport I'm inventing called penguin ball here. I'll get the rules to it eventually. Rule number one is the penguin has the ball.
Oh. Well, that might be a kind of dull game then, but
Not for me.
is it just Pete standing around with his penguin ball all day? Well,
maybe it's more of an installation piece, performance art.
We are here today, of course, to talk about the week's weird new releases. And I guess you could say news as well. What we have today are two movies that will be upcoming that just debuted at SWSX, South by Southwest Festival. One that's in limited release in theaters, one that's new to VOD, and two items on physical media. Can you guys see the spread here?
Yes.
Pete, you can see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Well, let's start with this, and I'm going to let Giles describe this, although I wouldn't go into too much detail.
I won't. I'll start with the background. This is kind of soft-colored strip mall here. Line of stores in the back, line of cars parked in front of them. And in the foreground, posing in front of a van, are four women dressed in ersatz chic, I'll call it. A lot of trendy, pseudo-trendy, very trendy, strangely trendy, certainly elaborate outfits here. I guess to give you a hint, there's a lot of lime green and bright orange. There's one woman in a skirt that is shaped very similarly to Devo's Energy Dome. It looks like a couple of pairs of Ugg boots, some, I guess I'll call them disco stilettos going to raspberry tights. So all told, very colorful, standout looking individuals here.
Yeah, and the some of the makeup looks like masks, so although I'm not sure all is.
Actually, it certainly looks like some efforts have been made to obscure the faces of these individuals, which, considering what I suspect they're about to get up to or have just gotten up to, is to their advantage.
Okay, and do we know what this one is?
It's called I Love Boosters.
It is. And
yeah.
This was has already debuted at South by Southwest. Boots Riley's I Love Boosters has a theatrical release date of May 22nd. So we're a little ahead of the curve. First off, did you guys see the trailer for I Love Boosters?
Yeah, I did.
Yep.
Thoughts?
It kind of gives me John Waters vibes a little bit, and it's about shoplifters. And the best way I would describe this gang is they look like they rolled in super glue and ran through a Muppet show and kept whatever stuck.
Yes, I will second that concise description.
What about thoughts of the trailer, Giles?
No, it looks fun. There's a certain high floor of quality to be expected from all the parties involved. So at the very least, this will be a rollicking good caper, I suspect. And with just enough hints of strangeness, at least vis-a-vis the businesses they're stealing from, that this may also slip into weird territory as well. The antagonist, is that Demi Moore, I believe? Is she?
Yeah.
She definitely shows an eccentricity that seems to lend itself to our preferred genre of films, and all the shots involving the staff of the stores that these people are stealing from look a bit off.
Mm. Well, so let me say that the trailer does not make it look too weird, which is why I was a little, just a tad nervous about this one. We've been talking about this one for a while because it's from Boots Riley, of course, who has a canonically weird movie on our list, Sorry to Bother You. And then this is like 8 years later, his follow-up film. In between, he did a limited run TV series about a giant in Oakland that was weird. But it's the same thing happened with Sorry to Bother You in the trailer. The trailer didn't look especially weird, just looked like a rollicking, zany comedy. But then, and it was, but the movie started out in this absurdist comic world and then has a very, very weird twist in the third act. And so when I saw this trailer, I'm saying, I hope he does the same thing in this one. And from early reviews, it sounds like he does. So the trailer may be misleading people into thinking it is less strange than it actually is. And of course, it's set in the world of boosters, which is LA slang specifically for shoplifters. I'm not sure if it's used all around the country now, but I know it started in LA. And there is strangely a weird fashion culture of boosters in Los Angeles because there's so much fashion there and so many retail outlets. People do just steal stuff from stores and then they sell them, vendors sell them on the street at a steep discount. And I don't know why LA hasn't shut it down, but I guess for the retailers, it's just, they just mark up the cost of these ridiculous clothes, and it's considered a cost of doing business that you're going to lose a certain amount of them every week or month to shoplifters. Boots Riley is going to be pro shoplifter in this. We can be pretty sure because if you didn't know, Boots Riley is a unapologetic communist. So who somehow gets movies into theaters. He's only done two, but he wraps his little Marxist message in enough comedy and absurdity and just sheer imagination that he's able to get it over and people can enjoy it just on the surface level, or they can dig in if they're really, on the far left and dig that crazy redistribution of wealth message. But so we are looking forward to this one, needless to say. Early reviews were good and did mention that it has the notes of surrealism that we were hoping for. So, any final thoughts on this? Or okay, let's move on to the next one. And I'll let Pete describe this poster, which describe it in loving detail.
Oh my goodness.
Each triangle.
This is Phenomena, and it is we're looking at a hexagonal tiled collage of various colors and patterns. Looks like something you'd run through a Photoshop filter or two, but as I understand it, this was all created with with practical effects, no CGI used. So, and what else can one say?
Not much about that poster. I did have a clip for it. Did you guys see the clip?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Does
what
it like not have a plot or something? It seems kind of like it's they're talking about the visual effects and the music, and it seems kind of like a Fantasia type structure where it's just look at the pretty stuff and listen to the music, I guess. Okay.
Giles?
Yeah, I had a similar impression. I guess it wasn't officially a trailer that we saw, but perhaps the opening salvo. I'm not sure. I was sort of sit back and look at this really cool stuff that is happening naturally.
Yes, so it's a documentary. So
Yeah.
All right.
that's why it, I guess, doesn't have a plot. It's from Australia, and it's about a guy, doing science experiments at home and filming them and getting all these really cool chemical reaction effects and simple physics effects and stuff like that you can do at home, which probably wouldn't have really caught my attention, except that it grandiosely bills itself as a psychedelic odyssey into the fabric of the universe. So there you go.
Nice.
Sounds like it's a, visuals and music to match thing. It sounds to me like it's intended to be sort of like a cheaper, more homemade version of a Godfrey Reggio Otzi movie, which Giles can pronounce the names, I think.
Can I?
Quen Quiazzi, what?
Oh, Koyaanisqatsi.
Quianiscatzi.
Koyaanisqatsi. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that was all nature. Oh, wow, boy.
And
Ah.
then he had a couple of others that also ended in Otzi. So,
Yeah, I had the
Okay.
advantage of. Well, I went to film school, and during my time there was told that as the title, so I didn't. I can't claim to have figured that out on my own.
okay. But that's what I think they're going for here. So, uh, I don't even know if this one has debuted yet at SWSX. Probably has, considering how far into the schedule we are. But that one was directly, the publicist directly kept emailing me about it. So I looked into it and I thought, yeah, there was really nothing else that I saw at SWSX uh, of interest, but I didn't really super dig into the schedule like I do with some other festivals. So who knows? There may be more stuff coming out of SWSX that's of interest, but these are the two that we've chosen to focus on today. I doubt Phenomenon would show up in a theater near you. It's probably more of a thing that'll be on video on demand soon enough. Whereas, of course, I Love Boosters, you will be able to see soon.
Yes, so you're looking at the Phenomena webpage. If you find yourself in Louvain, Belgium, this week, you should be able to check it out.
Oh, maybe I will be then. Okay. Any final thoughts on Phenomenon before I move on?
Hmm.
Let's roll,
I'm
keep on.
moving on. Let me make that a little bit bigger for Giles to describe this image,
All
poster
right.
image.
Well, for those of you who loved the color palette of the film version of From Beyond, you're going to love this poster. Definitely the overtones of magenta into purple, which is apt because, yes, we see a woman in a skimpy top here, cleavage showing. So, in case you're looking at this at work, be advised. She has her head tilted back in an expression. I bet it's a combination of ecstasy and agony, from what I recall from the trailer and the overall look here. And around her neck, coiled at least twice, is a purple tentacle
Yeah.
that she seems to at least be partially enjoying.
Okay. And the title,
Touch me.
Touch You. Um,
Touch one, I guess would be the.
well, what did you guys see the trailer for Touch Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thoughts?
I didn't hear one line in that trailer that didn't sound like a regurgitated Reddit comment. It's it's really it's chock full of that kind of of that kind of mannerism, the way the characters emit lines like "What the f" and like that's the first time that line of dialogue has ever been spoken in a movie. The premise is interesting, though, I guess.
Yeah, and as much as I was able to determine the premise, yeah, it seemed interesting enough. And yeah, as for that dialogue, I suppose I don't necessarily know how young people are speaking these days, and they may have been influenced by their online interactions. But I do hear what you're saying there, Pete. I'm interested. Particularly, it looks like festivals listed here: Sundance, SX, SW, and Fantasia International Film Festival is also on their docket. So
Well, no, it
I
isn't.
don't know. Did I miss this one, or
You
is it
missed
coming
it. You missed
up?
it.
Okay.
I was going to ask you how you managed to miss this one, Giles. So.
That's and you'd be not wrong to ask me that. On the outside chance I can find their schedule,
Well,
odds are there was a counter programming
there was
problem.
probably some kind of counter programming, but it seems you end up seeing about, I don't know, what, 70% of the movies that screen there. So,
I think I'm hovering actually closer to around 50%. There are a lot of movies there that we don't look at. There's one guy I know who, with effort, I think was able to get 80 or 90%.
hmm.
Um,
At
but
any rate, what is the premise as you guys understand it?
one,
Mm.
well,
Some young people get together for a weekend orgy with a weird guy who's kind of charismatic and I maybe a guru of sorts, but he seems to be holding these people in some kind of thrall with some kind of sexual orgy undertext going on.
Hmm.
yep.
Um, I will say that perhaps the lines, and I'm not sure because I haven't seen it, but perhaps the lines of dialogue that you guys are complaining about being a bit vapid or intended satirically is always a
Could be. It
possibility.
seemed like it can't make its mind if it's a comedy or horror. It could be a balance both.
Yeah, and again, and also, yeah, looking at this through the filter of a trailer, that was probably heavily producer influenced to pitch this to people who aren't us necessarily. Obviously has its risks too.
Okay, so the premise, as I understand it, and I guess it's not a huge secret because I've read it in some brief synopsises of the movie, is that so there are these two young what are people younger than millennials? Gen Z, and there's
Gen
probably
Z,
they're probably
probably about
Gen
Gen
Z.
Alpha is kicking in about now.
They're probably
Can you
Gen
imagine
Z.
there's adults running around who weren't born before 9/11?
Wow.
Ooh.
Anyway, they get kicked out of their apartment, and one is a beautiful young blonde, and one is a apparently gay man, and the woman uh, goes takes them to stay with her ex, who is this charismatic cult-like figure whose touch gives them a heroin-like rush and becomes quickly addictive. And also, as you can see from the poster, there are hints of tentacles, which means hentai. Um, and I will also say that it's 90% positive at Rotten Tomatoes, so that's a very good score, even on an early release with very of a movie that's pretty eccentric. So low number of reviewers, but a very high rating. It seems like it's on the borderline of being weird and on the borderline of being just a sort of out there sci-fi premise.
Oh, and I just discovered why I missed it at Fantasia.
Okay.
It's running opposite the second Mononoke movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any further thoughts on Touch Me before we move on? I hear nothing, so the nays have it. And I will turn it over to Pete to describe this lovely still.
This is a sepia tone still of a dude in a sleeveless t-shirt, holding a chair, and he seems absolutely enraptured as he looks at this chair. Like it was embodied with a soul or something, and he was gazing into his lover's eyes.
Hmm, perhaps, perhaps. This is By Design, a movie from Amanda Kramer, who I always call Andrea Kramer, I think, and is actually Amanda Kramer. Um, Very strange directress who's directed, let me see, what were the movies she directed, Giles?
Um,
Lady
yes.
World, I think.
Um, I know I've seen one of them, right? Has
Lady
she?
World, the one, and the Give Me Pity,
That's it. Yep. Give
and
me. I
Please,
have
Baby,
seen.
Please.
Yes.
So she's back with about her fourth movie. I think you've seen two of them because didn't you review Lady World, her early first movie?
I don't. Oh, did I? I might have. My brain is disintegrating as I grow older. Oh, I did. Yes, back in. Okay. Yep. Lady World. Ah, yes. The women, young women trapped in the earthquake building. Yes.
Yes, and then she did a movie about the one woman show that goes terribly surreally wrong, uh, done in the uh, late 70s style, and then she did the 40s or 50s style Technicolor musical where everybody is bisexual perverts, and now she's doing this movie in which Juliette Lewis turns into a chair, basically. Um, so this has been something by design, is the name of it. And it's been, she swaps bodies with the chair, I suppose, or her soul goes into the chair and her body remains behind in a vegetable-like state.
Mm.
As I understand it, we haven't seen it yet, but we will have a review of it coming up next week from Michael Diamades,
All
who
right.
was able to see it. It is now out on VOD and promises to be quite strange. Did I give you guys the trailer? I think you've seen it before, but did you see the
I saw the
trailer for
trailer.
this one again this time?
Yeah.
Yep.
Any thoughts?
Very artistically directed. And this is Juliette Lewis. Do we have Juliette Lewis in a canonical list entry yet?
Yes,
Have any of her movies? Which one?
Natural Born
Urban
Killers.
Killers.
Natural Born Killers. That's one. Okay. Because I remember him from the very first movie I reviewed for the site, Meet the Hollowheads, and she was in that too. She really has a knack for picking the out there in the weeds stories, doesn't she? So yeah, I think she's a little. I think she could stand a little more appreciation around here because
I've never seen Meet the Hollowheads, I hate to say. So that's
oh,
one I should see.
that is so rare. You basically got to raid a temple to find a copy of that thing. That's or put on your pirate hat and go sailing. So. But it's
Okay.
out there. I would highly recommend it. I think that's the one that I reviewed that I think I should go back and recommend for the list.
Mm.
But anyway, Juliette Lewis, and she seems to be acting her head off in this one. So
Acting her soul.
so
Yeah.
Giles, thoughts about the trailer, which you've seen before and probably commented on before?
No, it still looks intriguing. I mean, the premise alone is worth it, and all the people involved. Well, I mean, that cast, that director. This is going to be solid, like a magnificent chair.
Yes, and I believe probably this guy is falling in love with this chair that has Juliette Lewis's soul in it. So that should be an interesting. I want to see how they managed that love affair. So. All right, by design on VOD right now. You can all watch it. You have no excuse. I'll let you have an excuse not to watch this next one, but Giles can describe the image if he will.
Oh, it's a
Oh, here we go.
dark image. It's a city street that looks like it's been abandoned for any number of decades, except the street lamps are illuminated. Who knows what supernatural electrical current might be going on here? There is ash covering so much. The truck thing looks snow. No, that's ash. Ash is falling from the sky and approaching us through an overpass that frames it pretty nicely. Is a contorted, emaciated figure, possibly formerly of a woman, but now something kind of indistinct. This figure has no arms, no face, and is altogether got that whole creepy doll positioning look. As I imagine, its stumble is also, by design at least, very creepy. So yes, something terrible going on in this rundown bit of second-tier city.
Yeah, and does the city have a name that you know?
Yes, it has a name. This used to be the beautiful city of Silent Hill.
Yes, and we will return to it for Return to Silent Hill. This movie, before I give my thoughts, do you guys have any thoughts on this, which is now, I should point out, on 4K UHD?
Well, that's I guess everybody knows by now that Silent Hill is based on the disaster of Centralia, Pennsylvania. They had an out of control mine fire that raged, coal mine fire that raged over there for like years, decades even. I think it's still going. So like the entire city's abandoned. It's a ghost town now. And this, if you look it up, Centralia, Pennsylvania is the inspiration behind the Silent Hill series.
That's true.
Yep,
Okay.
and I suspect any given documentary about that city would be more entertaining than at least what I've heard about this movie, and also judging from the trailer, which seemed to have a lot of standard horror stuff. Okay, there's some creepy. There's the inexplicably shaggy, blandly handsome guy brooding his way through the scenes. So I'll admit I have not seen this, and I have no doubt I have seen worse than this, but I have no real need to watch this because Greg has already.
Yeah, well, the one thing you guys didn't or neglected to mention is that it's a adaptation of a video game, which is kind of important for its
Oh,
market. It is marketed to people who love the video games. The first one was quite weird and had a titled simply Silent Hill, quite weird, original. Then they did a sequel that was simply awful. And then with this one, the original director of Silent Hill came back and they based the script on the script to the sequel, Silent Hill 2. And this one is also pretty bad. What I will say about this one is it is definitely weird. It has those psychological thriller things of is this, reality or is this all in his head? And there's a bit, the ending is particularly confusing. Although I think it's not confusing to people who've played the game because as I understand what happens in the ending, in the game, they had 3 or 4 possible different endings, and this movie, therefore, has 3 different endings that are all totally incompatible and don't necessarily relate to something that happened before, weren't set up before in the movie. And so if you haven't played the game and see this ending, it just is like, what the hell is going on? Interestingly, when I was in the theater watching this, there was one other couple in who they left about 15 minutes before the end, which is
Wow.
pretty strange because you've sat through it all that time and you've decided I just don't care how this ends. I'm just going
I've
to
done
leave it
that.
right
I
now.
build on movies like I don't care what happens to any of these people. I hope rocks fall and everybody dies. I'm out of here. Yeah, I've done that in movies.
Well, I have to say, I have never started to watch a movie and not watched it to the end. It might take me 2 days, but
Yeah.
I consider that letting the movie defeat you. So,
Yeah, I think I've done that. I've done that. I know I've done that at least once. There might have been a second time. But the original sequel to The Crow that had Iggy Pop in it, among other what's its, and lots of sodium lighting. I got about 15 minutes into that and was impressed at how little I cared about anything going on. So I think that's the one definite one I've stopped before finishing.
if you are going to bail on a movie, I think bailing after 15 minutes makes more sense than bailing after 115 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's what these people maybe they had dinner reservations. I don't know.
That's true. They went, yeah.
Um,
Well, now they can buy it on 4K and Blu-ray
yeah,
to
to see that fascinating ending. The other thing about this is I never really understood why it was set in Silent Hill. It could have been, I mean, and maybe that's something with the game too. The first one, made sense to be set in Silent Hill. This one isn't really connected to Silent Hill plot wise or by necessity. It's a cool setting. But it doesn't go into the lore of Silent Hill the way the other one did. And maybe that's the same as the video game. I don't know, but that I thought maybe if you're doing a Silent Hill movie, it should be a little more directly connected to the story that we saw before. But hey, that's just me. So I did not recommend this. It's not quite a beware rating, but it's pretty mediocre. There's some scares in it, some nice visuals.
can we whip up a why bother rating?
Yeah, why bother rating? And I think most of the audience and critics agreed with me as well, so I feel vindicated.
My goodness.
But if there are no final thoughts, we'll move on to the last
We're
one.
sorry, movie. We're sorry, movie. We didn't mean to beat you up so hard. Okay.
I like Christoph Gans, though. I wish he would do another good movie. All right, let's move on to the last entry. This is an older movie now on 4K Ultra UHD, and we have the box cover, the reversible box cover for this, and I believe it is Pete's turn to describe this, if he.
Well, I'm looking at a vast white void background with a graphic of a recycling circle in the middle, in between two DVD box covers showing the two different editions, I guess, of The Birthday. On the left side, it's a gentleman in a semi-formal attire looking very bedraggled, like he's been run over by a truck and he's standing outside in blue lit fog. And then the other one shows a rather imposing entrance edifice, perhaps, to a building or to the entryway of the special occasion of the title.
And Pete, who is the bedraggled gentleman in the first picture?
Oh yeah. I remember his name. I remember his name. But I don't remember his name. Oh yes, Corey Feldman. That's right.
Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman, teen star, half of the Coreys, the Corey Haim and Corey Feldman duo. Corey Haim, of course, unfortunately died young. Corey Feldman, unfortunately, lived on to middle age. And has been a bit of an embarrassment, but apparently is pretty good in this movie, which was kind of what it was made in about 1990 what?
It was released in '04 after
04.
with a semi-troubled production. Then like almost totally just from my vague recollection when I was researching this, almost totally disappeared for the longest while. I think I watched it shortly after it had been dug up and made available streaming for my review about a year and a half ago. Okay, yeah, it's let's see. So premiered. Okay, so premiered in '04, released theatrically in Spain in '06, and then there was very little to say about its existence between then and 1 or 2 years ago.
Yeah, when they suddenly dug it back up, Arrow Video releasing it, and it's of course on 4K UHD as well as Blu-ray. All the 4K UHD releases now usually come with a standard Blu-ray, and frequently it's cheaper if you buy them together for some reason because they're trying to sell people on buying 4K UHD players, I think. As I said, Giles has seen it. I've only seen the trailer. Pete, you've seen the trailer?
Yep.
What'd you think?
It starts out thinking it seems like a very domestic situation. The dude's showing up at the party of his girlfriend's father. He's got a couple of little errands to try to run along the course of the evening, but he seems very frustrated with it. And really, things start out innocently enough until it's revealed that there's a something more sinister going on amongst the guests, and especially the location of this venue. So it has something to do with a cult.
Yeah, another cult movie like Touch Me has a cult in it. Actually, there's a cult in Return to Silent Hill. So there we go. A lot of cults. There could be a cult in I Love Boosters. Who knows? I haven't seen this, but it is appealing because I like the black comedy style of weird movies. So I'm intrigued. I also like the casting, the unusual casting. It's kind of nice to see somebody who's turned into a bit of a caricature, and then they show up in a movie and people say, oh, this is a great performance by this really unexpected person. So it interests me, but I know Giles has seen it, so maybe Giles will give us some more information on The Birthday and whether he would recommend it.
Why, I'm looking at my review now, and I did recommend it, and thinking back on it, I still do. I'll quickly read my why it might join the Apocrypha, which I think hits a lot of the angles here. With whatever Corey Feldman is doing to portray Norman is up there alongside Tommy Wiseau's turn as a romantic lead in The Room, albeit hovering on the reality side of believable. And that's just for starters in this oddball bit of capering which unfurls like a forgotten Coen Brothers B-side. And so, yeah, there's goofiness like in Hudsucker Proxy. There's weird undercurrents of menace like you find in Barton Fink. And it's just, there's a point where it almost collapses under the weight of its own, well, whatever it's up to, but rallies itself for a truly jaw-dropping finale.
All right, a little bit of H.P. Lovecraft influence.
Oh yeah, the occult in question is for an Azathothean kind of doom god, not one of the lesser standing gods.
Okay, well, and also this is super deluxe release. Let me see if I can. It being from Arrow, it's a super deluxe release. Let me see if I can come up with some of the special features that you'll find on this release. Of course, it's 4K UHD. Audio commentary by Corey himself with the director Eugenio Mira, who I don't know did anything else. There is a brand new interview with Mira shot exclusively for this release. In-depth breakdown of a single scene, a Q&A with Feldman and Mira from Fantastic Fest screening, and some trailers. The reversible cover, of course, which you can see there, and essays. All right. Well, sorry about that. Apparently, I accidentally closed the Zoom session after revealing all the special features for The Birthday, which was, after all, our last feature, but we're back here to wrap it up. If there's anything anybody still has to say about The Birthday, say it now, or you'll have to wait till this time next year.
This time next year.
Well, you can read my review, as I suspect that may be linked for the little Friday post. So I do recommend that movie.
Okay. No final thoughts, Pete, on that?
Nope.
Okay. Anything to promote? Anything going on in Penguin World?
Nah, nothing much. I mean, I got my new microphone.
Oh,
I'm finally sounding something besides what I was. I hope it's been an improvement.
Oh, yeah. Crystal clear, Pete. Excellent investment.
All right. That's about it.
anything?
However, more things are coming. For one thing, I'm going to try to start setting up more gaming videos. I've been meaning to add those on my channel. Just lots of let's play type stuff. Anyway,
Anything going on in Giles World?
Nothing in particular, though I can give the rundown for 366 promotion if you'd like, Greg.
Well, I mean, you could, but you don't know what's coming up next week. So,
Oh, no,
one thing that's coming up next week, I'm going to go through, I'll tell you what's coming up next week in written content on the site since we all managed to get back together. We will have that review of By Design from Michael Diamandis. Shane Wilson will cover a reader suggestion called Hospital Brute, a French gross out animation from 1999. Giles can describe what he's going to do in just a minute, and I am going to do Julia Ducournau's Alpha. I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, I'm going to do Alpha, the movie about a girl who gets a tattoo and her mom thinks she's contracted a disease that will turn her into a statue. And Giles, you can describe what you have.
Yes, I took a movie from the reader suggested Q comment section. I think it was a slightly more recent comment than many of the titles that are buried in there from decades of accumulation. A movie titled Him, which came out, I believe, last year, and is, I will happily say, I now have a third sports movie that I can recommend if I am pressed to do so. Neat little oddity about a young upcoming quarterback star who suffers a traumatic injury, and in order to regain his cred, he goes for a week-long retreat with the current reigning super champ of, I believe, the Missouri Saviors is the team in this game here, and things get dark and strange rather quickly. And a great performance from Marlon Wayans as the aging quarterback guy, and a wonderful performance from newcomer Turek Withers. This was produced by Jordan Peele and directed by Justin Tipping, and I will write further for next week.
Okay, and it did not get very good reviews, but maybe that's because it's so weird. We'll have to wait to find out. Don't spoil it.
I'll spoil nothing.
Okay.
Further.
So that should do it for this week. We'll be back next week with more movie reviews. I don't think we will have a guest, just more news. Could have a guest, but I don't think so. Just more reviews. Our news, we don't really do reviews so much on this channel. A little bit if we've seen the film, but mostly just upcoming titles. So in the meanwhile, Giles, what should people do with their free time?
Well, with your free time, you should read the many reviews and scoops we have on our website. Watch everything we've posted on YouTube. Share the links with your friends. Buy our books. Buy your friends our books. Spread the good word of 366 Weird Movies whenever the opportunity presents itself. And nothing says I love you like 2 hardback volumes of the 366 weirdest movies of all time.
Yeah. And play some penguin ball.
Oh, yes.
Practice your
yes,
penguin ball.
of course, yes. Well, the
Okay.
rest of you can't practice because I have the ball.
Find Pete and make him play penguin ball with you.
Gotta find me first. Okay.
Thank you guys for coming back for this quick wrap up. And we're off. May all your March Madness teams win and your bracket be immaculate. So bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in and see you next week.
Stay weird.
Cheers.
Weird. Yeah, I guess that is the word for it. Weird.